Howdy folks, it's DIECAST with here again, and welcome back to NASCAR Thunder 2003. Oh boy, it's time for the 2004 NAPA 500 Race 19 out of 36 standings update. We are third in the standings, a buck 49 behind Dale Jarrett. Oh boy. Schedule. So, the last three races, which was of course part of the wild card stretch, we won the Dodge Save Mart 350. Jamie McMurray got his first career Winston Cup victory at the Daytona Road Course. And then Matt Kenseth picked up his third career win here at the Pepsi 400. So, that's three interesting, outcomes. I expected us to do really good at Infineon, but I did not expect us to be able to short pit and win. McMurray just completely shocked me because Casey Atwood won in the same car in 2002, and then, of course, Matt Kenseth pulled out the W for Roush at the Pepsi 400. But it's Atlanta this week. We're going to the Napa 500. Next week, we'll be going to Chicagoland at, the Tropicana 400, Pocono, then the Brickyard. So that's kind of our upcoming schedule. And we're going to be running the same car we ran, or same paint scheme, the normal primary Sitco car we ran at Daytona. Let's go to Atlanta. Alright folks, so we didn't qualify that well. That's okay. I just spent probably like 5-7 minutes right now running practice, just trying to get this car as fast as I can, For some reason, when we go to Atlanta, we just go here and we stall out. We're not competitive, and I want to change that. I want to be able to have an opportunity to win. Dale Jarrett, I believe, is on pole, and he had underneath a 30-second lap. My not pole run, but qualifying lap was like a 30-60. I wanted to get that under 30, and I was able to do that, but that was in practice. So hopefully our race trim's better. Let's hit it down trackside.
We're live from the Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia for today's Napa 500 on MRN. This place has it all. They even have a 9-story office and condominium complex right here at the track. And there's always great racing to go along with the amenities. Isn't that right, Barney?
The high speeds that can be reached here does make for some exciting racing. There's no restrictor plates to keep them from being able to pass either. It's just all out, flat, good old stock car racing with the best drivers in the business. I can't wait to get this one underway.
Jeff Burton is in the top 5 in points so far this season.
Oh yeah, and all these guys in the top 5 are fighting hard week in and week out to gain as many points as possible. It's harder to pick up spots once you're into the top 5.
In 1993, Bobby Labonte finished second to Jeff Gordon in the Rookie of the Year battle.
That's a pretty good rookie class. At first, Gordon's accomplishments overshadowed Bobby's, but Labonte had been a solid contender for the title in each of the last few years.
The Sirius Satellite Radio Dodge hasn't run well in his qualifying attempts at the speedways this year.
Man, that's true. Maybe he likes having to pass all those cars on race day. I know I would prefer to start towards the front, and I'm sure he would too. But hey, he'll get there with some patience.
Engines are fired here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's Dale Jarrett, Kevin Harvick, Johnny Benson, Jerry Mayfield, and of course, Bobby Hamilton. Oh goodness! So we qualified like what, 27th? 27th, man. That is just deep in the field. We're third in points, 149 points behind Dale Jarrett, who qualified on pole. I mean, it's an uphill battle, but the best thing we can do is just point race, try to go out there, try to get as many points as possible, maybe even stay out long enough to lead a lap. That type of strategy as a bad restart or start of the race for the 43 of Scott Wimmer. Oh boy, just try to keep digging and see what we can do. Hoping the car is much better in race trim than it was in qualifying trim, because let me tell you guys, I worked on this thing in practice. I tried my hardest to get this thing under 30 seconds, and I was able to do that. Sure, it wasn't enough to be able to get a pole, but it would have got us in the top. I think the top 10. I think it's a top 10 qualifying car. Oh boy, oh boy, blend. Okay, there we go. You know, Atlanta it's one of those tracks kind of like Charlotte where you're not able to gain a crap load of time on someone. It's more or less you got to pick one driver and just work on them for a few corners, then you get around. It's kind of how it feels. You know, you can gain a little bit with the draft, and everyone's kind of jockeying around each other. You got a bubble to work with. You got some Roush Coutiers, Kurt Busch, and Matt Kenseth around here. Oh goodness, a check up there, running 30th. Man, this is not acceptable. Last week's winner, Kenseth, on the outside, and as you can see, it feels like there's a bubble around my car right now as we're making a move on Kurt Busch. Oh boy, and there's a bump down here in 3 and 4, and when you're making your car setups, you can't have your car too low, because if you do that, your car will bottom out and hit that bump, and when it does, it doesn't just vibrate your controller, it actually hops you up to the middle lane. So if you're in the inside lane like right now, and I hit that bump, I will be up here in the middle lane underneath the 109. That's the problem with the bump. So you can't make your car so low, and when you're reducing that portion of your setup where you can't utilize downforce, you know, to its maximum capabilities, you're actually taking away handling and speed on your race car. So you have to adjust your, I would say, stereotypical 1.5 mile setup for Atlanta Motor Speedway because of that bump in 3 and 4. Meanwhile, we kind of been following the Home Depot Pontiac of Tony Stewart, and we're moving up for 21st in a beautiful car on the right side. Oh, 3 and 4 is dangerous, man. If your car does not stick, oh goodness, you're going to the fence. Let's get a top 5 update. Jarrett, Marlin, Mayfield, Hamilton, Johnson. That is your top 5 so far in the NAPA 500 here in Georgia. It's hot. It's August, or actually, no, it's still July. So, I mean, it is hot in Georgia. Fast stock car racing, no restrictor plate garbage, nothing. Just straight up good racing. That's what I like. And you just seen the car bump there. Sorry, Steve Park. The car bumped there. I'm guessing when I ran the apron, or not apron, but the line on the apron, the car bottomed out and it hopped. When it makes that little bit of like it sounds like a piece of metal getting banged, it's because you're skidding the ground and it moves you up a lane. You got to be really careful. And we're moving up on Tony Stewart, trying to get around him. Oh goodness, we got Mark Martin. Oh, bump. You seen that right there, guys? Car bottomed out, man. It was going straight into the left side of the Pfizer Ford right ahead of us. That could have been disastrous for me and Mark Martin there. And meanwhile, we are actually moving up here at the Atlanta race. I mean, we are actually chipping off positions, shades of Charlotte. As I mentioned before, you kind of work on one car for a few corners and then you're able to get around them. It's not something like Fontana or Michigan where you just gain a crap load of, you know, positions in one lap. It's a methodical, move your way through the vines, so to speak, type of track. So we're boogieing underneath Rusty Wallace and his Miller Lite Ford. We got Ken Schrader and the Pontiac on the outside. Oh goodness, had a lift there. I had to, guys. And we are trying right now. We are trying to move on up there and try to get us a top 10, man. I mean, we've easily been the fastest car, starting outside the top 25. We got the 30 American Online, Monte Carlo. Oh goodness, peeking our nose in there underneath the Kellogg's Chevy. Oh goodness, side drafting. And when you're diving on these corners, sometimes the AI will brake a little bit more than they need to, and if you have a full wind of momentum from the draft, you will run into the back of them. Shades of the Coke 600 we had this year with Jeff Gordon. That was embarrassing. But, you know, you just got to learn those mistakes and keep moving on. You know, we're trying to chase a championship. We're 149 points behind, and if Jarrett gets another victory, we're going to be 160 probably if we finish inside the top 10. If we don't, then it's going to be much worse than that. Meanwhile, Jimmy Spencer still in the top 10. Hats off to the big old guy running that 41 car, man. I gotta admit, I loved him on NASCAR Race Hub. He was absolutely must-watch TV. Shame he's still not on there. Anyways, it's lap 12 now, out of 32 here at Atlanta. Pit stop's gonna be around lap 16. I can feel the tire wear, man. I can feel it. Lack of grip, and the draft is really our biggest friend right now. As you can see, Tony Stewart's right behind us. We followed him, now he's following us. Running down the square D Monte Carlo, Bobby Hamilton. There's a bump right there. Look at that. It just sends us up the hill, man. Sends us up the hill. And now Stewart's got a little momentum, but we're going to block him. Let's get another top 5 update. Jarrett, Marlin, Johnson, Gordon, and Earnhardt. That's your top 5. And one thing I see is a lot of Chevrolets, but they're not leading, and that's the only thing that matters. Stewart's got to run on the inside looking. Nope, not going to be enough. We're gaining a sniff off the 25 and the 55 up here. Oh my goodness, this car is fast, man. And Tony Stewart loses the car almost, goes up the hill. Hamilton's coming in. He's going to start our round of pit stops at lap 13. He thinks he can make it. Interesting strategy there. Short pitting almost. I don't think he's got a hot rod to make it up. But, man, we are fading on good years. Atlanta has always been a track where tires are key. I'm going to see how this round of pit stops plays out, you know. Do I think we could run him down? I think so. You know, I'm going to go ahead and pit. This is a last-minute call, but I'm going to do it. Why not? I think we have a fast car, man. I think if we're on fresh tires, we might just be the fastest car on the racetrack. If not, or at least one of the top 3 cars. So, if we pit early, we get those fresh Goodyears, and we put qualifying trim laps for the first 5, we should be really good to go. That's going to help us gain that time. Use a little bit of strategy here, see if we can get it. A 15.1, great pit stop by the Sitco Ford Taurus Roush Racing crew. Hopefully no caution. We can blend onto the racetrack cleanly. And we got to have 5 qualifying laps for this to work. Now, it's a little bit risky pitting early because of fuel. But looking at the fuel tank before we went down pit road, we had about 2.5, maybe 3 laps to give. So I think we're in our fuel window. I think we were good. But now we just got to just smoke the competition. As we're going to have a gaggle up there. That might be a caution, guys. Oh no, please no caution. Please don't trap us a lap down. Because now we're going to have to just run qualifying laps. Qualifying. Not qualifying. Qualifying. We got to be just... It's got to be hot Atlanta for this 99 right now. Because we got time to make up. Oh, driving on it in the corner deep. Trying not to hit the 25. Man, he's having a decent run today. Draft is definitely the key here. Got to have a little draft. There's Jeff Gordon. We're around him. Keep digging. Blend. There's the 55. Get a little sniff from him. Oh, he was the first car to pit, too. Oh, boy. Come on, make it stick. There we go. We're around him. He was the first car to pit, and he's already been passed. So that just shows that you have to have a fast car if you want to make the strategy work. We're trying to clear him. He is being stingy on the outside. Oh, goodness. Terrible corner there. And is that Jarrett and Johnson? Wow. Dale Jarrett and Jimmy Johnson are right there, guys. They are right there. Those are your leaders. Before the pit sequence, they were in the top 5, so perhaps pitting early might have been a good strategy. Because Jarrett and Johnson are right there. If we can run them down, this will be interesting. I don't know how our lap times are comparing, but I do know we still have decent, good tires right now. They're still pretty fresh. I think they probably got 2 to 3 more qualifying laps before they're really going to start tapering off. Bump. I mean, we're having the lift, obviously. We're not able to go full throttle, essentially, through 1 and 2, but I still think if we can catch Johnson's draft, we're as fast as Jarrett. Okay, there we go. Thank you, crew chief. We're officially faster than the leader. But bad thing is the leader's 20 car lengths ahead of us. Let's get a top 5 update. Verify the leader. It's Sterling Marlin. Oh boy. Of course, good old Sterling Marlin. Let me tell you, he's back up front again. We got 12 laps to go in the NAPA 500. A caution right now would be just a answered prayer, because we get everyone bunched up, get that draft going. No question, we can win this thing. So as far as I'm concerned, I want a caution right now. I want to get the field bunched up. For Sterling Marlin, you're praying for just no caution, nothing. Let it run out. It's going to take up all our tires to catch Johnson's draft and hold off Jeff Gordon. It's going to take all our tires to gain on him. We're racing for points right now. I want that third spot. I want to get as close to the Dale Jarrett as possible and Sterling Marlin. Oh boy, bad corner. That's going to open the door for the DuPont. Monte Carlo, can he... Yep, he's going to go around. I'm just going to let him go. I'm not going to race him on the outside. I'm not going to take a chance tearing up the equipment right now. We got a fast race car. And in fact, we might be able to use Jeff Gordon to our advantage here. Because Gordon's faster than Johnson, right? You know, Hendrick's going to prioritize the 24 car, so he's faster than the 48. I'm going to use Gordon to get a draft on the draft up to the 48. That's a good strategy right there. Oh boy. Oh my god. Yeah, we cannot sail it in there. And as I mentioned, our tires are going to end in 3 laps. And yep, that is pretty darn close. We've exhausted our tires, but that's part of, you know, kind of short pitting. Your tires are going to be worse in the run, but they're going to be better early on. A caution would be our only saving grace right now. Sure, if we can get a top 10 out of Atlanta, I am absolutely fine with that, because Atlanta has been kind of our... our Achilles heel. You know, we're either good here or we're terrible here. Same thing with Charlotte. We're either good there or we're terrible. You know, I feel like we've had some disappointing runs here at the 1.5 miles. And this is definitely a good opportunity to get some points, as Kevin Harvick's gaining on us. Just want to get up there with that 24 car right now, because he's racing Johnson. I'm trying to drive this car as fast as I can, guys, but man, is it not easy. I feel like 1 and 2 is our best corner, but then the tires give, and then we have to lift. And Kevin Harvick's going to go around. I'm just going to let him go. There's no sense running him on the outside. You're not going to do anything but wreck. Yeah, our tires are definitely fading, but good news is it's a very long distance between the 7th place Cat. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, they are kind of getting bunched up here, so draft is good. Draft is good. Johnson just got passed by Gordon, so Johnson's falling behind. He's losing his grip, I think, on his tires. Gordon has just probably got a better race car, to be honest. And it looks like Jarrett might be losing a little speed on his tires as well. 'Cause it looks like Gordon's the fastest non-leader on the track. I'm trying, man. If I can make this car stick in 1 and 2, let me tell you, this thing would be a hot rod. But it just, the second portion of the corner, you know, turns 2. Let me tell you, man, after the apex, this thing just walks up the hill, and I got to just get out of the throttle. I got to let it bleed, you know. Man, is it... And then 3 and 4, that bump, it just walks up the racetrack, and we're not able to hold that momentum we get from the draft, and that's what's really affecting our, you know, overall speed. Because we can gain on them if we had a little bit better tires, bro. I'm trying, man. I'm trying maybe a little bit harder in the corner, and then we use a little brake, maybe? I don't know, man. Now they're all single-filed. That could be really good or really bad. I'm trying to run this car as hard as I can. Yeah, we have nothing for him, guys. I can't run the car any harder than I am right now. If I push the car anymore, it's going to be in the fence because it walks up the hill, and they're just pulling away. So, short pitting, did it work? I think yes. I think he did, because I do think we would have cycled out probably around 11th or 10th. I think, if not a little bit further back, if we pitted on our normal strategy, which is after the first big group of cars. So I do think this strategy worked. I do think so, because we looks like we're going to be able to hold off and get 6th place. Since we can't gain anybody, I'm just going to save a little gas to make sure we have enough to get around here. We have some time to give, so why not? But yeah, you know, I think it was a good gamble, and it looks like it might pay off here. So make sure we have enough fuel to get to the end. We did pit early, so we got to make sure we have enough. I think we have enough, but, you know, I have such a, you know, big enough gap behind us. It was only smart to be able to give up a little bit of that, save a little fuel. Be able to coast around, and hopefully we'll be able to get ourselves a top 10 here at Atlanta. Kurt Busch is behind us. Fuel very low. That's not the last notification you get, so we should be good on fuel. Hopefully we can hold off Kurt Busch and get this 6th place finish. I'm going to hold Kurt off as best as I can. Come on, come on. I hope they go too wide back there. Go, just brake. Just brake. Just hold him off. He's going to walk the hill. He's going to walk the hill. Walk with him. Walk the dog. Oh, Kurt, no. A little bit of contact. Oof. Whew. We held him off for 6. Sterling Marlin wins the NAPA 500. Gordon gets 2nd, Johnson 3rd, Harvick 4th, and Dale Jarrett, believe it or not, gets 5th. He faded quick. What a race. So Sterling Marlin gets yet another victory for Ganassi. Roush did pretty good. We got Kurt Busch in 7th. Burton finishes 6th, and then Kenseth finishes 9th. Dodge won. Again, I'm telling you, man, the Dodges are fast. Holy cow, man. So he didn't lead any laps, but Dale Jarrett luckily totally got the max bonus points. But Sterling Marlin walks away with 180. We're going to lose about 40 points, 30 points around there. So it is what it is, and we're going to move on to Chicagoland next. So thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you're having a great one. And DIECAST with A, signing off.